Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the daily cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what's going on in the space. And woo, who enjoyed that roller coaster ride we had yesterday when I was covering the news, like saying, oh, it's a crypto roller coaster. We're down to 100, we're 98, but don't get scared. And literally a couple hours after that, Bitcoin just jumped back on up to 106,000. Like, let's take a look at that chart. Let me pull that up. So here we go. Here's Bitcoin from yesterday. Let's go back 7 days because it's covering up that one little piece right here where we had that dip. It's like, what's going on? What's happening? Iran. And the next thing you know, today or yesterday, we get word of a ceasefire. So let them handle their thing. But we are back. We're going to keep going. There's nothing really to worry about. Even the rest of the crypto space is looking pretty good too here at Crypto Bubbles. We can see a sea of green right now. Everything's up. Hey, Say is up 35%, Bonk 13, Theta 13. So everything's just moving well. So let's cover the news today. What's going on? Only got a little bit of articles. I was working late on today's class that we're hosting at the Bitcoin Bank Crypto Club. It's going to be on smart contracts. So if you want to learn a little bit about that, join the club and we'll get you a link to that class. Now, let's dive right into the news because I think I only have like one scam article, something news with leisure, housing and loans, and Anthony Pompliano. So just a couple of news articles there for you. So let's just dive right on into it, starting off with how Bitcoin rebounds to 106,000 amid the Middle East ceasefire and rate cut bets. So yes, let's learn about this. So Bitcoin bounced back to $106,000 on higher chances of the Fed interest rate cuts due to tensions in the Middle East. Now, Bitcoin swiftly rebounded back to 106,000 as we saw yesterday, and Bitcoin reclaimed that level on Monday after briefly dipping down to $98,500, the first time in 45 days. Market anxiety eased up after U.S. President Donald Trump announced a total ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Traders are now weighing whether Bitcoin can push toward $110,000 or if downside risks still linger. And I don't think we have any lingering worries anymore because, again, I still got more news on just there's still so much adoption going on like every single day. If it's not from Strategy or MetaPlanet hearing them buy it, it's like we got Anthony Pompliano doing $500 million. We got Win Lambos, this Jaguar company or refurbishing company in Florida, is adding Bitcoin to their treasury. So it's like everyone's adding it to their, I think even, I didn't pull up an article, but even Russia. So not just companies and institutions, it's governments onboarding too. So like, I don't think this is anything to be worried about. I think we're still going to skyrocket to 200,000. Everyone else is still predicting like an 800,000, 500,000 Bitcoin. Like, that's going to be coming down the road. But like right now, I'm still seeing like we can easily hit the 200,000. Let's shoot for that benchmark first. But let's continue on with this article. Despite the volatility, Bitcoin derivatives market remains steady, and the price move triggered 193 million in liquidations of bullish leveraged Bitcoin positions, equivalent to 0.3% of the total futures open interest, and the current 68 billion in leveraged positions is virtually unchanged from Saturday. Now, the 4.4% drop in Bitcoin's price over a 12-hour period is not particularly alarming by historical standards. Similar drawdowns have occurred 3 times in the last 30 days, but still, some traders worry that the potential for a prolonged conflict in Iran could weigh heavily on the global economy, prompting investors to adopt more caution, risk averse. Now, if you were really so worried about that, like this all took place during the weekend, and like we saw that happen. All markets are closed except for Bitcoin. So of course, we saw the crypto markets take a little dip first. Then once Monday opened up, stock will close their positions out there as well. But it's like, it shouldn't be so risky. Like this wasn't everything a market that just got affected. This was a macroeconomic situation that took place. So it was just like, it didn't completely directly impact crypto and Bitcoin and all that stuff, but it did have a role in it. And it's just Bitcoin happened to be the first one people can gain access to, sell a position if they want to, get back in later on the week, but they couldn't go to their stocks or anything because those are only Monday to Friday. And we did see the stocks dip once Monday did open up. But were the Bitcoin miners, though, impacted by all this conflict going on in the Middle East? Well, some analysts noticed that a significant decline in Bitcoin's hash rate between Sunday and Thursday. The hash rate dropped 8%, falling to 865.1 million terahashes per second from the 943.6 million terahashes. This sparked speculation about potential disruptions to mining operations in the region. Some industries analysts have long speculated that unauthorized mining operations in Iran could be drawing as much as 2 gigawatts of electricity, though these claims remain largely unverified. Now, accurately estimating how much mining capacity exists within Iran is nearly impossible due to the lack of transparent data. However, analysts emphasize that the sudden and sharp drops in hash rates are not necessarily unusual. It happens all the time. Now, Daniel Batten, for example, pointed out that such fluctuations are frequently tied to temporary reductions in electricity output within the United States and during periods of extreme weather conditions. Bitcoin miners are often face strong incentives to temporarily shut down their operations just in case they need that excess energy. Now, a recent case study occurred on April 22nd when Bitcoin's hash rate plunged 27% following intense storms in Texas and Oklahoma. And these weather events include heavy rain, large hail, and at least 17 confirmed tornadoes, of which disrupted the local energy grid and consequently mining activity. Now, traders are more confident in the Fed interest rate cuts that could be happening in the future. Meanwhile, oil prices tumbled on Monday after peaking at $77 on Sunday. This move coincided with a 1% gain in the S&P 500. Following a retaliatory attack on Qatar, traders increasingly bet on the likelihood that the U.S. Federal Reserve will lower the interest rates in the near term. Now, according to the CME Group Fed Watch tool, the implied probability that the Fed will maintain its current 4.25% interest rate through November has dropped to an 8.4%, down from the 17.1% just 1 week earlier. Now, in contrast, odds of rates falling to 3.7% or lower by November increased to 53%. So, hey, over 50% for odds for us to dip down to that, or to be lowered to that much. I'll take those numbers. Now, that is up from 38% over the same period. So, yeah, at first those odds were only 38%. Now it's 53%. So, that's pretty cool. Now, betting that Bitcoin will surge to 110,000 solely on the hope of the de-escalation in the Middle East may be premature. However, the swift rebound above 100,000 suggests that institutional interest in Bitcoin remains firm, even in global tensions. And no duh, like I said, follow the news. Like, there are still so many companies out there and people just adopting it, building it, treasury. Again, yesterday's news on Texas approving their state Bitcoin reserve, and they also added another bill into protecting the Bitcoin once it's in the custody there. So it's just like everyone's still adopting it. So when we have these little things, it's just like, okay, quick action, like we'll see a dip, take advantage of it. Buy that dip, and then we'll see the price go up. Everybody, sweet, my dollar cost average just went down. So really nothing unfair. Just pay attention to the news. Follow my channel because I cover this every single day, literally. Now let's continue on with who is one of these next people who are acquiring Bitcoin. Well, it's when Lambo, the Jaguar Land Rover customizer, revs up Bitcoin strategy. ECD, an automotive design, which bills itself as the largest Land Rover and Jaguar restorator, has raised $500 million to buy Bitcoin and fund its corporate growth. So ECD Automotive Design, Inc. has secured $500 million to acquire and store massive amounts of Bitcoin in a corporate treasury, according to the firm's statement on Monday. Now, as a business strategy that has gained traction among a number of public companies over the past few months, the Florida-based car restoration company, which bills itself as the largest restorator of Land Rovers and Jaguars, signed a $500 million equity facility with the ECDA, Bitcoin Treasury LLC, according to its press release. Now, an equity facility is a means of raising capital in which a company sells investors a portion of ownership in its business in exchange for funds. Now, ECD's equity facility will largely go towards building its Bitcoin treasury, with a portion of the proceeds funding general corporate initiatives. And an ECD automotive design representative said in a statement that we are excited to secure the significant financing option, which strengthens our financial foundation and enables us to diversify our treasury strategy with Bitcoin. ECD automotive design chief financial officer Ben Piggott said on Monday. Now, ECD Automotive Design did not immediately reply to Decrypt for a request on additional comments on this, but the company's Bitcoin-focused business forms part of its initiative to deepen its engagement with the cryptocurrency community. Now, in March, ECD Automotive Design unveiled a recent crypto payment partnership with the crypto payment service provider BitPay. Now, over the next 12 months, ECD plans to offer $21,000 of Bitcoin credits and vehicle upgrades. The first 21 customers that purchase vehicles using Bitcoin. Oh, not bad. So if you want to use some Bitcoin and live in Florida, check out this company here. Now, the company's bid to tap crypto communities also comes as a growing field of publicly traded businesses establishing Bitcoin-based treasuries. A play popularized by Michael Saylor's software firm Strategy, which holds roughly $60 billion worth of Bitcoin. I believe last time we checked, it was like at 590,000 Bitcoin they hold. It's around that number. Now, a total of 243 public companies hold Bitcoin, and a number that has grown 13% the past month, according to the data from BitcoinTreasuries.net. Now, Bitcoin's current standing of this article is 102,000, but I think we're different right now. Me recording this video. Yep, we are at 105,000 right now. So that was just at the time of this writing. But no, 13% in the past month. We're hearing more and more news of just companies adding a Bitcoin treasury to their platform because they saw what happened to Strategy, they saw what happened to MetaPlanet, and they're seeing like just all these companies that just started doing this, and they're just benefiting from it. So don't wait, get in now if you can. If you need help acquiring some Bitcoin, give the club a call. We offer no KYC bulk crypto purchases, and that's something you may want to do. You just got to be a member of the club to do so. So that's just another company out there buying more Bitcoin, starting their treasury, and they're Florida based. So way to go. Now, who else is buying Bitcoin? Well, Anthony Pompliano. He just announced he's about to go public in a $1 billion Bitcoin treasury SPAC deal. So yes, let's hear about this. So ProCap Financial will hold up to $1 billion in Bitcoin and monetize holdings through yield strategies. So Anthony Pompliano is taking his Bitcoin native financial platform, ProCap Bitcoin, public through a $1 billion merger with the Columbus Circle Capital Corp, ICCCM, a special purpose acquisition company called SPAC, sponsored by affiliate of the Cohen and Company. Now, the transaction announced Monday positions the new entity ProCap Financial Inc. as one of the largest Bitcoin treasuries ever to hit the public market. Now, in what is being called the largest initial fundraiser for a public Bitcoin treasury company to date, ProCap raised $550 million in preferred equity and secured $225 million in convertible notes, giving future shareholders immediate exposure to Bitcoin through a structure designed to acquire Bitcoin ahead of the deal's close. Now, led by Pompliano, a well-known investor and vocal Bitcoin advocate, ProCap aims to operate at the intersection of digital assets and traditional finance. And if you're not watching Anthony Pompliano in the mornings or afternoons whenever he goes on, I would recommend do it. I usually like playing him at the end of the day when I go to the gym, because in the morning, I save that time for Ivan on Tech, Mar Investor, the Bitcoin Bench Show, and then after that, my day just gets swamped. But when I'm in the gym, whatever I missed onto, I usually like popping on some Anthony Pompliano and just hearing what's going on in the space, what he's doing. He has a little bit more insights. So if you want to check him out, do so. Now let's continue on with the article. Now, the company plans to generate profit not just by holding Bitcoin, but actively deploying its Bitcoin balance sheet across yield-generating strategies that mitigate risks and capitalize on crypto finance, the financial infrastructure. Now, the legacy financial system is being disrupted by Bitcoin, Pompliano said in a statement. ProCap Finance represents our solution to the increasing demand for Bitcoin native financial services among sophisticated investors. Now, the merger values the combined entity at up to $1 billion, depending on the final Bitcoin purchase price at closing, and ProCap's Bitcoin assets will custody until the transaction is completed, giving investors near instant Bitcoin exposure without waiting for the company to go public. Now, the transaction is expected to close before the end of 2025, pending the SEC's review and shareholder approval. And the Financial Times first reported that Pompliano was set to become the CEO of ProCap Bitcoin, and the company was planning to raise $750 million to acquire Bitcoin. And yes, I remember watching the video last night of the interview with Pompliano, and he is becoming the CEO of ProCap Bitcoin. So again, definitely check out his channel so that way you can get a little bit more earlier insights than just maybe me reading this article for you. Now let's take a quick little commercial break to play a quick ad from our sponsors, and we will be right back after these messages.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth, is here, and it's spelled BITCOIN, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we are back. So yes, let's continue on with the news. What else is going on? Again, we have their loans to Bitcoin program, as well as full crypto purchases, as well as a home to HODL program, which is kind of in reverse of what this next article is about, because it looks like a lot of housing agencies want to use Bitcoin as collateral for their mortgages, versus with our home to HODL program, as we don't know the uncertainty for how real estate is going, instead of having your real estate go down, borrow against the asset of your house and put that into Bitcoin. And as Bitcoin grows, you pay off the loan for your house. Now you still get to keep your house, and now you got a solid asset in the end. So that's what our home to HODL program is here at the Crypto Club. But it looks like some other agencies out there are doing the quite reverse. So let's learn a little bit about this. So U.S. Housing Agency FHFA considers digital assets like Bitcoin for mortgage collateral. Now, the FHFA's exploration of crypto and mortgage processes reflects a wider regulatory shift towards embracing digital financial assets. Now, the U.S. Federal Housing Financial Agency is exploring whether digital asset holdings like Bitcoin should be considered in mortgage applications process. The FHFA director, Bill Pult, announced the initiative on July 24th via X, noting that the agency is beginning a review process to determine how crypto might be used in home loans and evaluations. According to him, we will study the usage of cryptocurrency holdings as it relates to qualifying for mortgages. Now, the FHFA regulates America's housing financial system. It oversees major institutions like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the Federal Home Loan Banks. Now, traditionally, mortgage underwriters accepted collateral that included the applicant's savings, retirement accounts, publicly traded securities. Now, cryptocurrencies, however, have long been excluded due to the market volatility and the lack of regulatory clarity, but we are getting that now, so that's why we're seeing these developments and questions getting placed. Now, this development could substantially change the underwriter's reluctance, as the emerging industry could be recognized as a viable financial instrument for housing financing. Notably, the planned review comes amid a broader wave of regulatory openness toward crypto in the U.S., especially under President Donald Trump's administration. Now, how can crypto reshape the mortgage qualifications in the U.S.? While the FHFA has yet to reveal how the crypto mortgage process would be evaluated, Michael Saylor's firm Strategy has developed a Bitcoin credit framework that assesses risk using Bitcoin's price, volatility, loan term, and project returns. Now, the model is designed to help institutions evaluate borrower strength when digital assets are involved. Industry players have welcomed the move and pointed out that many digital assets holders facing hurdles when applying for mortgages. We got Tristan Yiver, the co-founder of the Backpack crypto exchange, noted that crypto holders often need to convert their holdings into fiat and allow the funds to sit in a traditional bank account, sometimes for months before lenders acknowledge them. Now, according to him, this process delays financing and has forced many long-term holders to exit their crypto position prematurely. Now, Anthony Apollo, who leads the Wyoming Stable Token Commission, reflected on these practices from major financial institutions. He shared that JP Morgan, for example, required digital assets to be converted and seasoned in a bank account for several months before being considered in the mortgage evaluation. So, JP Morgan, that doesn't sound right to do. So, yeah, everything can still get fixed a lot better with this. But again, they're just in the consideration phase of it because they're looking into it. Again, the FHFA is the U.S. Federal Housing Financial Agency out there. And again, we're getting clearer regulations, more rules are getting put in place and everything. So it's just becoming more friendlier out there. And again, this could get a lot better. Pretty soon, this will just be run on smart contracts. Basically, okay, the smart contract executes everything. We don't need the middleman anymore. It's like, okay, this platform's going to hold on to the crypto, depending on the contract itself. And unless like this happens, then the house will not go over through. So everything's soon going to be a smart contract, tokenized. Like it's heading to the blockchain. And yeah, those are just some of the topics that are going along with it. Now let's move on to our next article talking about the hardware wallet Ledger launches an offline recovery key for new wallets. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Ledger. I don't like these recovery programs they got going for it. It's like when it comes to seed phrase and protection of your private keys, that responsibility is on you. And by having like a third party get involved, we're dismissing the aspect of taking self-control of our assets. So let's go over what this new feature with Ledger has to offer us if you still use the Ledger devices. So unlike Ledger's previously released key recovery product, Ledger Recover, the new Ledger Recovery key, is always offline and doesn't require identification. So, okay, let's see where we're going with this. So Ledger, a major provider of hardware cryptocurrency wallets, has introduced an offline tool for private key recovery to help users regain access to their crypto wallets without relying on cloud-based services or personal data. The Ledger Recovery Key is an offline physical recovery tool allowing Ledger Flex and Ledger Stacks users to store their private keys on a smart card with NFC connections. The firm said in an announcement shared with Cointelegraph that unlike Ledger's previously released key recovery product, Ledger Recover, which stores encrypted fragments of recovery phrases in the cloud-based hardware security models, Ledger Recover Key is always offline and protected by its own PIN. Okay, so I kind of like this one a little bit better than how it was beforehand because, yeah, fragments of your seed phrase, they have that. It's in the cloud. No, thank you. But while also being optional to Ledger Wallet users, Ledger Recovery Key does not require identity verification or the collection of personal details as Ledger Recovery does. Now, the private key recovery by tapping a card. So this kind of looks like a Tangent wallet in a way. So interesting. The Ledger Recovery Key will specifically allow users to recover and access their assets by just simply tapping the smart card and entering a PIN. So exclusively supporting the NFC connecting Ledger Flex and Ledger Stacks wallets. Now, Ledger Recovery Key connects directly to a Ledger device using secure NFC wireless channels with no intermediary, and the company said in the announcement. Now, here is what that card will look like. The Recovery Key is a physical NFC smart card enabling offline private key storage. Now, the company said that Ledger Recovery Key is built with secure elements, the main security layer, and the same technology applied by Ledger wallet devices. Now, this is open source technology, so as part of Ledger's transparency pledge, the Ledger Recovery Keys application code is open sourced on GitHub and has its own white paper. The tool has undergone internal security testing with Don Zhan, the company's white hat hacker team, and has been externally audited by cybersecurity firm Synactive, among others as well. Now, we've received extreme positive feedback from security researchers and industry leaders, and we're excited to reveal it to the world for even more feedback ahead of its launch soon. Now, Ledger's Chief Technology Officer, Charles Guillemette, said in an announcement that self-custody is not without risks. Ledger's latest recovery tool aims to improve the usability of self-custody in a form of storing crypto assets like Bitcoin without relying on third-party providers. Now, while allowing crypto holders to be their own bank by giving users sole responsibility for their secure storage of the private key to access their assets, and self-custody storage solutions have long been associated with risks such as key loss or theft. Now, many companies have tried to solve the problem by introducing seedless self-custody wallets or physical backup solutions like fireproof metal plates or more sophisticated backup methods such as Shamir Backup. Now, in 2023, Ledger introduced another option for recovering keys as a paid cloud-based solution, which I did not like. Now, the service was temporarily paused amid backlash from the community due to concerns about the third-party entities, but has continued operating. Now, despite a tough start, according to the company, Ledger Recover is performing well and continues to grow as more users enter the Ledger ecosystem. So I guess this is a new way to keep your seed phrase or private keys protected. Because again, for those that don't know, your crypto wallet doesn't really hold your crypto in it. Your crypto lives on the blockchain, and you can only freely move it around to the private keys. And that's what these wallets are doing. They're protecting your private key. And so every time you plug it in, you're unlocking your crypto, and you're able to move it, receive it, do whatever you like with it. So that's what's really going on there. But this is just another way to keep that protected. Instead of having to have the seed phrase, which is a human readable version of your private key, now you can just have a card. So I guess, do you still need to back up your crypto wallet with a seed phrase, or can you just use this card? Still many questions to think about with this. But I don't use Ledger, so I'm probably not going to test this out unless I get a club member in here looking to need help with their Ledger device. But I will probably not be testing out that key feature until then. But hey, if you guys have experience with this, let me know. I love to hear your feedback on this new card and wallet that they use. So that's our Ledger news. Now let's move on to our last article on about a warning about another scam out there. Kaspersky warns us that there's a new crypto malware stealing seed phrase screenshots from iOS and Android devices. So let's learn about this. So hopefully you can stay protected. So Kaspersky warns of a new Spark Kitty malware that steals crypto seed phrase screenshots from iOS and Android using OCR technology to infiltrate App Stores and Google Play. And again, guys, when you're creating a crypto wallet, why are you taking a screenshot of it? The rule is no digital copy available. That puts you at vulnerability, your crypto at risk. Write down the seed phrase, engrave it on something, do whatever you can, but just no digital copy of that seed phrase, because a hacker can get into it and then steal all your assets. So just keep that in mind. But Kaspersky researchers have discovered a sophisticated new mobile malware campaign called Spark Kitty that was successfully infiltrated by both Apple's App Store and Google's Play, specifically targeting screenshots of crypto wallet seed phrases stored in a user's photo gallery. Now, the malware, which evolved from previously identified Spark Cat campaign, uses optical character recognition technology to scan and exfiltrate images containing sensitive crypto wallet information from the iOS and Android devices. Now, the campaign, which has been active since at least February 2024, has primarily targeted users in the Southeast Asia area and China through infected apps disguised as TikTok mods, crypto portfolio trackers, gambling games, and adult content applications that request photo gallery access under seemingly legitimate pretenses. Now, who's linking their phone gallery to a dirty website? Come on, people. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that. Now, here's what it kind of looks like. You can totally tell it's a fake one. That's not a correct URL, website link, and everything. So, yep, so already right there. Like, to stay safe, guys, just pay attention to the URLs. Pay attention to the links you click on. Just you don't want to download a fake site, because that's where you can get screwed over. But these cyber criminals successfully bypassed official App Store security measures to deploy infected applications that appear legitimate to automatic screening of human viewers. Like, again, like it looks legitimate, but you got to pay attention to that URL. You got to make sure everything's legit. But two prompted examples include SOX Wallet Tracker, which was masqueraded as a portfolio management app and was downloaded over 5,000 times from Google Play, and Coin Wallet Pro, which marketed itself as a secure multi-chain wallet before being prompted through social media ads and Telegram channels. So here you can see how it kind of looks like pretty identical, I guess. So here are the two apps right there. I guess this was the top one, Tomcoin, Open. They look pretty similar in a way, or not similar, but They're close. But how does Spark Kitty's seed phrase still evaded the iOS and Android detection? Yeah, because like how do these guys actually get their code into like the App Store? Like how does it bypass it? Well, let's find out. So on iOS devices, the malware typically disguises itself as a modified version of popular frameworks like AFN networking or Alamo Fire, exploiting Apple's enterprise provisions profile system that allows organizations to distribute internal apps without the App Store's approval. So they're sneaking this malware in this way. Now, while legitimate for corporate use, the enterprise profiles provided cyber criminals with a pathway to install unsigned applications that could bypass Apple's standard security screening process. In fact, they go as far as to create modified versions of legitimate open source libraries that retain original functionality while adding the malicious capabilities out there. And here's that tweet from Kaspersky. Spark Kitty, cute name, big threat. The new little brother of Spark Cat malware hides in fake apps on Google Play and App Store, stealing all your photos, including sensitive screenshots. So protect yourself. Use encrypted storage, and then scan with Kaspersky's Premium and more. So this little fellow will steal your heart and your photos. It's a little Trojan horse, that's for sure. Now, the corrupted AFN network framework, for example, maintained its original network capabilities while secretly incorporating photo stealing functionality through a hidden AFI image downloader tool, and the class that activated during the app loading through Objective-C's automated load selector mechanism. This approach allowed the malware to remain dormant until specific conditions were met, such as users navigating support chat screens, where photo access requests would appear natural and less suspicious. And then on Android platforms, the malware employed equally sophisticated distribution methods, embedding malicious code directly into app entry points while using legitimate cryptocurrency themes to attract targeted victims. Now, OCR technology turns photos into digital gold mine. So Spark Kitty's most dangerous feature is its sophisticated optical character recognition technology, which automatically identifies and extracts crypto-related information from victims' photo galleries without requiring attackers to review them manually. So unlike previous mobile malware that relied on bulk photo theft and manual analysis, Spark Kitty employs Google ML, the machine learning kit library, integration to scan images for text patterns. It specifically searches for seed phrases, private keys, and wallet addresses that users commonly screenshot for backup purposes, despite security recommendations against such practices. Now, as Kaspersky has explained, the malware's OCR implementation demonstrates advanced pattern recognition capabilities. It will automatically filter images based on text context and send only those containing the crypto-related information for the command and controller. So it's specifically just looking for that seed phrase, crypto information, and saying it's not sending everything over, but specifically looking for that. But this target approach reduces data transmissions requirements while maximizing the value of the stolen information. Now, related campaigns out there discovered during Kaspersky's investigation revealed even more sophisticated implementations, including versions targeting backup procedures by displaying fake security warnings, instructing users to back up your wallet and the key in settings with 12 hours or risk losing access to your wallet. So if you see a warning like that, just pause, take calm. That must mean there might be a little security thing you just may need to take a look at. But if you see like a warning out there, like your crypto wallet, just assume that's a scam or something's going on, because usually your wallet will let you know when you plug it in. If you haven't plugged it in, you're not going to get a notification about it. So just be aware of that. But these social engineering overlays guide victims through accessing their seed phrase and just allowing them to get stolen. Now, here's a tweet from the Crypto.news. The Liberian Ghouls APT group has transformed Russia's business computers into a covert crypto mine operation while stealing wallet credentials and private keys through sophisticated phishing campaigns targeting industry enterprises. So, yeah, lots of different scams going out there, guys. You just got to be really careful and diligent about it. But these dual-purpose attacks create ongoing revenue streams for cyber criminals who steal existing crypto holdings and use victims' computational resources to mine additional digital assets. thus can promise devices effectively becoming profitable and generate infrastructure for extended periods. So guys, just be really safe out there. Pay attention to these articles when they do come up. And again, I usually got one for you every single day. And it's always at the end, I'll cover some type of scam or something's going on, because I want to keep you guys informed so that way you know what it looks like, and that way you don't fall for it. And then in the beginning, I always cover some Bitcoin news, and middleman can be altcoin or more crypto. But that's what I like to do here. But yeah, so hopefully none of you have downloaded this Spark Kitty malware, and hopefully none of you fall for it. So that is it for the news. Bitcoin is again still currently at 105,000 right now. We are looking at the Fear and Greed Index. Once I can get there, we are at a 47 right now. So we're back to neutral. We were in greedy territory for a moment. And again, when people are fearful, it's a great time to buy. But when people get greedy, you may want to take a step back and just see what's going on. But that's it, everybody. Everybody have an awesome Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Should I get tacos today? Nah, I'm going to get geckos. Maybe some chicken strips. That sounds good. But for those of you going to be attending our crypto class later on in about an hour, I will see you there. Again, it's on smart contracts. If you wanted to learn about that, tune into that class or become a member, and I'll get that class uploaded later on today. So take care. Love you. Peace.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges. It's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.